My name is Alan Dillingham. I am the producer and director of Cat and Mouse.
My name is Seth Roberts. I'm with Killatainment Films. This is the project Cat and Mouse, and I did everything Alan needed me to do, whether it was directing, assistant directing, first ADing, gripping, gaffing, sound, SFX, anything and everything he needed me to do.
Hi, I'm Lincoln Millett, and I was visual effects supervisor on Cat and Mouse.
Okay, I'm James Payne. I play Vinny the Thief, and this is for Cat and Mouse.
My name is Stephen Bernard, and I'm playing as Steve the Bandit in Cat and Mouse.
My name is David J. Schaefer. I play Nathan in the film Cat and Mouse.
This whole thing got started when John Lepper, who runs Bloodshed.com, he came to me looking for someone that can work within a budget to make one of his films he had written come to life. And I pretty much jumped on the opportunity. So he told me it was part of an anthology called Kill the Shades, and I've always wanted to get into anthologies, so I jumped on it.
I remember when Alan came to me and said, "Hey, somebody paid me to make a short movie. It's a horror movie." And I was like, odd. That doesn't happen. Okay, what, you know. So he told me about John Lepper, which is our major executive producer. We also have a second executive producer who gave us money to make this movie. And I was like, oh, awesome. So what are you looking at for a script? And he said, well, it has to have sunglasses in it. I'm like, okay, great, sunglasses. What's your concept? You know, so I guess John wrote the initial script, gave it to Alan, and Alan kind of, you know, fleshed it out for the location and things that we were doing.
Cat and Mouse is part of an anthology called Kill the Shades. Basically, the anthology is where sunglasses or some kind of shades turn people evil. When I first read the script, it was called Cat and Mouse because this killer views himself as a cat. He likes to prey on victims, whether it's outside of his house or people coming to his house. He definitely sees himself as a cat because when he wears the glasses, he feels like a cat. And secretly, in my mind, we don't reveal it in the film, but those glasses have a sort of night vision. So when you're in the dark, the two protagonists are in the dark. They can't see him, but he can definitely see them. The story in general is about just two people that like to steal. They have a good connection with each other. I think that Stefan and James really bounced off well with each other. In the beginning it was kind of comedic. We tried to set this tone so that by the end of the film it's completely different. As for the film itself, it definitely has its peaking moment. We start off slower, more calm, and then we reach to kill the mice room, and everything breaks loose. And that's when the characters start fully come out, how they react in that situation. The script it's been fun to work with. We've gone through about 4 revisions. When I went to rewrite it, I did my best to maintain the original script of John. I basically changed some stuff based on characters who we got, like Stefan and James. The location was a big factor in the script writing, but I think about 4 revisions later we had exactly what we wanted. So.
I saw a professional who wanted to tell a great story, and I was very pleased to be a part of the project in whatever capacity I was needed.
Vinny is one of the thieves in the movie. Vinny's been sort of dragged along by his friend Steven, who's a little younger than he is. Very much at the beginning, Vinny you get the sense of Vinny's kind of out of shape, and he just has kind of a I'm too old for this shit kind of attitude. A bit of comedy relief going before the serious of the movie truly sets in.
Steve, he's between the two and Steve and Vinny, he's definitely can be crass, a little foul-mouthed. quick to assume that he's got the right thing going with this, this soon-to-be bust. And boy, is he in for a world of incorrect assumptions.
There are a couple of intruders who think they're going to get the better of Nathan, and as they soon discover, Nathan is not somebody who should be taken lightly, and he's not an easy target for criminal types. So yeah, he's a pretty nasty guy in his own right.
I would think that Vinny is used to being on top and used to being in charge of a situation, despite being a bit of comic relief at the beginning. Vinny knows what he's doing. He's done this before. He's an experienced criminal as far as home invasions go.
With the initial feeling you get, you definitely kind of loathe these gentlemen. It's like, why would they do this? Especially once you get introduced into Dave's character, Nathan, you definitely have a feeling like, why pick on this guy? He's by himself, he doesn't pose any threat or harm. And but once you get into the actual mindset of Nathan
is that's the first time I've ever had to deal with somebody who's got that big of a secret that he's holding on to. And so where the film begins, as I said, the villains, they think they have an easy target, and so to go from appearing meek and mild to transition to the real Nathan, the dark side, it was very challenging and a lot of fun too. So
I think Steve's trying to impress Vinny and be cool with kind of the older guy by showing him he knows what he's doing, and it's all as he says it is. And Vinny's trying to give him that chance, like, yep, okay, whatever you say, let's do this. All right, while he's still checking it out.
I love the misdirection of it, because when you assume these guys, it's like these are not right. These people are not right. What they're doing is wrong, hands down. And then the bittersweet justice that they deserve is, well, exactly that, well deserved.
Once the tables turn and they go from predators to being prey, I think that for Vinny that is something he is very unaccustomed to. Very much part of his fear, more so than probably what he's seeing around him. He's probably seen horrors in his life at some point, or witnessed a lot of violence to become a criminal in the first place. But to suddenly have that change on you, that it's probably very much part of the terror.
He knows they're coming. He's got surveillance around his house. He knows they're coming. So he just kind of allows them to confront him. And I think we've heard before of people who are no stranger to pain. In fact, they enjoy pain. So knowing full well that somebody's going to be probably beating you up and tying you up and stuff, I think he kind of enjoyed that, and in his own weird little way. And he knew he was in no real danger because he knew he had the upper hand ultimately.
I think it's brilliant. I think the premise of the movie is absolutely brilliant, with no exaggeration. Two thieves break into a house and it's a serial killer's house. I mean, right there, one line sells the whole movie. It's just really well done.
The visual effects department, really people that I worked with before. As soon as I read the script, I knew exactly who I wanted for a director. His name is Lincoln Miller, and he has a passion for horror films, which is apparent when you see the scenes itself. He really put everything he had into making the basement scene really special, and I think he did a great job at it. We went with Stacy Badillo. She's really good. She was doing our latex work, doing the wounds, and we also had Ashley LaCroix, who's fantastic at doing makeup. So between those three, and Lincoln also doing airbrushing, we had a nice little team together. We had 3 of the stations. We put the wounds on, we put on the airbrushing, and then we have Ashley doing the blending of the two. And I think it worked really well. We had about 10 people that needed makeup all together, and it went pretty good. So I'm happy with what they came up with, and it looks great on film. So.
Yes, horror is one of my favorite genres. I like sci-fi and all kinds of other stuff too, but yes, I do love horror.
The visual effects, I think our art department went out of their way to make it very gory, and the extras were phenomenal, and not only their patience but their portrayals of the gruesomeness that lies in Nathan's basement. So
Oh, I had a blast. I really enjoyed it a lot. It was go, go, go from the beginning of the day till the last thing at night. Did a little bit other stuff on top of just the makeup part of it, but it was great. The people were amazing. We had, I don't know how many, 20 people in the house. It was amazing. The people are such a blast. Everybody was so good. I've been working with a lot of the people for a while now, and so they're like a second family.
With props that got brought in, as well as the kill room being set up, the makeup applied. I mean, everything. It was almost like a lovely 3-course meal of gruesomeness. You know, you had all these elements put together, and it was spot on, just the way we entered, and it scares even afterwards. Alan gave us a quick, hey, how was everything? And I remember James was doing all the talking because I was speechless. I was like.
The challenge with the hatchet was getting it to be stable on James's head. It was a lot heavier than the prop was heavier than we expected, and made it challenging to keep it stable the way we wanted it to, so we don't want it to move or wobble. But we got it down, pretty much glued on there, and the actor, Dave, was great about holding it and keeping it steady. So
it was like 4 or 5 of us actually had to figure out how to attach it to like the prosthetic skin piece. It was quite a group effort, and we were messing with that thing for a couple hours before we finally even went to the process of attaching it to my head. We even had an extra crewman there, a makeup person was sitting there for like an hour holding that thing still and backing me in place while I held still to have all the work done to attach it. Then we were walking around the house with somebody walking back at me actually holding it in place so we could actually do the shot. And it's amazing as far as whether it's film or theater, how much work goes into a few seconds that you see. With this, 4 or 5 people, 2 or 3 hours worth of work to give you 5 or 10 seconds on the screen.
Our stunt team was amazing to work with. It's the first time working with a stunt team. When I first wanted to do the film, I knew there was some stunts in the script that weren't going to be possible without things like mats or some kind of special protection. So I wasn't about to throw Dave Schaefer off down a stairwell or throw Stefan off a roof. It wasn't going to happen. So what we did was we raised enough money through a Kickstarter where we could actually hire the stunt coordinator and a stunt double. When we did the stunt double, we got things like wigs, second pair of outfits, and we walked in the angles and everything. And I don't think people are gonna really notice at the end of the day that they were stunt doubles. So it's what we are achieving.
Well, initially I thought that it was all going to be, we're going to make it look like they fell over the railing and that kind of thing. And I was like, oh, that's cool, that's great, camera magic. And then Alan said, yeah, we hired a stunt crew. I'm like, oh. And initially when I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have holes in the walls, things are going to be broken. Oh well, we'll fix it. But not one dent, nothing. They're so professional. They were so good.
Stunt crew was very professional. I was thrilled to be a part of a movie where we actually had professional stuntmen on board. Their level of professionalism and working everything out and stuff was top drawer.
That was a different experience. I've never worked with stunt people before, and when I showed up that day, they were in the backyard practicing, and you could tell they were very studious and they knew what they were doing, and very well prepared for it. When it came time to shoot my stuff, they were very good with me. They took me aside and gave me pointers on different ways to position, and ensuring, of course, that no humans would be hurt in the filming of this. So, so it was pretty cool working with a couple of stunt guys.
The kill room to me is the scene that really puts the horror into a horror genre. It's a horrific scene. Like I was talking about the visual effects department with art director and all the makeup, blood, and everything that was needed to go into that. And then you bring in the camera work and having the extras playing dead bodies. And it's one of my favorite scenes, and I think it's a turning point in the film. It goes from calm to everything breaks out in chaos.
There's a room in the basement that is kind of a shocker for our thieves. They find something unusual there. There's several dead bodies, different ways that they had all lost their lives. A lot of jars with body parts in them, heads, a lot of blood.
During the filming of this, the whole the kill room, I had glanced in a couple times just during the preparation for it as they were getting ready, and it just kept getting more and more gruesome. And so, yeah, it was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun to work on that scene.
A couple of people most of the people had a latex stab wounds. There was somebody with an amputated arm and leg, and we made latex props for that. Stacy did, actually. She did a really good job with those. There was a lot of we had to make them look corpsey, pale out their skin a lot, and squirt them down with blood.
That was definitely the idea. It was a big part of the filming process here was to keep the actors out of what we're calling the kill room, and again the idea was to get a legitimate, honest reaction. I was very impressed with the details that the crew had done. The special effects crew, headed by Lincoln. I was surprised. It wasn't. I knew roughly of course what it was going to be, but I didn't think it wasn't exactly what I was expected. It was definitely gruesome. If you had actually gone in and witnessed something like that, I don't know if you could even gotten out of there. I honestly think, with the horrors you were witnessing, I don't know if you would have just had a heart attack right there if that had been real.
What are you guys about to walk into?
A shit show that we don't know what it is. The idea here is to surprise the actors to get a natural reaction as much as anything. So there's a rough idea of what we're going to walk into, but the honest reaction on a face is what we're looking for.
When we were down in the kill room, and James and Stefan were coming in there for the first time, they hadn't seen the room yet, or they'd probably seen some of the people walking around with blood and stuff all over them, but they hadn't seen them actually set up and propped into the room. And the room was dark, and they went in with flashlights, and so their reactions were kind of cool. That was probably my favorite part.
I don't even know what to say right now. That was epic.
That was awesome stuff. The special effects were great. Chains and everything was good.
Just the surprise of the kill room itself was by far, it was amazing. There was a couple times we were going down the stairs, and it's like, oh, we got to do our best to keep our eyes away from that. And even a couple shots that we were taking during the preparation for the kill room, and we had a couple extras going by, just to see how everything else is going. But the model, actually, the centerpiece of the kill room, she arrived, and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna do my best to focus immediately to her eyes, so that way I'm not even thinking about that peeled off face or anything, because I really want that to sell when I see that for the first time and react.
The room, I had most of it done days in advance. I kind of went down and laid the plastic out and put the props up. Did a lot of dirtying of props, spraying up blood, messing up the walls, putting up weapons, or not weapons, but tools that he used to hurt people.
We had a fantastic crew. But what we were trying to do was a big feature film feel to a short film project. So while we had a crew of probably 12 people, 14 including stunt, everyone was doubled up. You know, we had SFX guys doing set dressing, we had sound guys doing slate, we had me doing a bunch of different jobs. So it was everybody was doing multiple things.
The crew was amazing. We had a skeleton crew this time, which is kind of a first for us. We've always had enough people to cover each position, but it was a tough schedule for a lot of people. So what we ended up doing was having to triple up on jobs, double up, triple up sometimes. We had Zach Poulin, who was assistant director, who stepped in to do audio on one day. The next day he was overseeing special effects and different props we needed.
But you know what? A director is the head dreamer. He's the dreamer in charge. Without a good director of photography that understands your vision, without you having to explain every time you have a new shot, it's just not going to happen. Toby Bonney, who has refused to do an interview on camera, he's more comfortable behind the camera. He's one of those guys, you know, he gets it. I don't have to explain myself. I don't have to worry about the shot. If he has a shot, he'll say he has a shot. If he doesn't have a shot, he'll say he doesn't have the shot. He'll take command of the lights. He'll take command of the situation to get the shot the director needs. And every single project I work with him on, it's noticeable improvement in quality. Noticeable, like, oh my God, you know, where did he go? Camera camp? But, you know, and you give Toby a piece of equipment, and he used a Steadicam vest to film this, and it was his first time in the vest. And I got to tell you, the footage that Toby captured, the feel that Toby gave to it, is half the story. If the camera doesn't do its job, I don't care how good a director you are. Your story's not going to work. Toby's the guy that gets it.
Toby's great to work with because you tell him what you want and he'll keep doing it until he's happy. And if I ask him how was the shot, he'll say nah or nah, not really. And to me that says do it again. Because if the cameraman is not happy, I will not be happy. And that's so good. When he says yeah, we got it, I completely trust him. Didn't we have to review it? When I look at the dailies, it shows. There's a certain trust that a director and a director of photography needs to have.
Alan Dillingham, a lot of people don't know that Alan got his start with interpretive dance on the mean streets of Biddeford, actually. Just, I mean, out there in his leotard with a hat down, people throwing money. And to go from that to breaking into movies, to start out with just getting the crew coffee, then to become a fluffer, then become a cameraman, and now finally a director. I mean, my Lord, it's just absolutely, absolutely brilliant.
He's always great. I love him. He's just laid back, knows what he wants. Just, I love working with him. He's great.
I was very proud of Alan. I've never seen him operate more patiently, more professionally, more dedicated. You know, there are times when, like everybody, we get tired, we get hot, and after the fourth take, you're like, all right, you know what? Let's just move on. I didn't see that in Alan.
It's a lot of fun because Alan's not a stickler. He doesn't have one vision and that's it. You got to stick with that. Alan's got his own idea of the way things go, but he's also open to suggestions. And the direction, his directing is very good because it's easy to me to follow and give him a performance that he's looking for in a character. So I've worked with him on a couple of occasions, and it's always been a lot of fun.
It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure working with Alan. You know, I've pretty much done stuff with him since the get-go, and and he's been progressing well, and I really love these this last film here. Being done, it's like he shows a lot of integrity, a lot of patience with the quality of product that will be out, and I'm sure this will be a great product.
Seriously, Alan is great to work for. I've been one of the main actors he's used for the Killatainment film projects. Very smart man, very professional. I enjoy working with him very much. Thankfully, he likes using me. All his projects are well done, and I can't wait for the future projects.
I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you had a little bit of suspense in watching the film, and got as much enjoyment out of watching it as we had making it.
I hope you thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope you were surprised and completely entertained and grossed out. I really hope you were grossed out.
So thank you for buying this DVD. This is the only time you're going to see the behind the scenes, how the making of, how we did all this stuff. So if you like what you've seen and you want to see it again, follow us on Facebook, check us out on Twitter, and that way when you have more films, then you want to get the DVD again. So thank you.